The Battle of Lepanto was a naval battle that took place on the 7th of October 1571 between the Muslim fleets of the Ottoman Empire and the Christian fleets of the Lega Santa. The Lega Santa brought together the naval forces of the Republic of Venice, the Spanish Empire, with the Kingdom of Naples and the Kingdom of Sicily, the Papal States, the Republic of Geneva, the Knights of Malta, the Duchy of Savoy, the Grand Duchy of Toscana, the Duchy of Urbino, the Republic of Lucca, the Duchy of Mantova and the Duchy of Ferrara. The historian Ulderico Nistico writes, the Confederates, as they were called by their contemporaries, had deployed 220 ships, of which 120 were Venetian with 6 powerful galleasses and 80 Spanish, mostly from the Kingdom of Naples and others from the Italian states. They had been patiently brought together, forcing them to overcome their rivalries. By Pope St. Pius V, Dominican friar Marcello Gisleri, who out of humility would continue to wear the white monastic habit, papal robes from then on. This man of prayer and culture bore the terrible responsibility of the war, necessary to save Europe from the unfortunate fate that had befallen Constantinople since 1453. In Calabria, the journalist Salvatore Libertino tells us that the Baron of Bottolato, Gasper Giraldo, enlisted 1,200 Calabrian infantrymen on behalf of the Republic of Venice. Quote, when the fleet assembled by Pius V gathered in Messina, the task of giving an official oration to the Catholic leaders was assigned to Father Lattanzio Arturo da Cropani, who then published it with the title of Sermon of the Christian Ship, upon the return of the victorious fleet. The same friar delivered the Sermon of Victory. Giovanni Tommaso Arturo of Cropani, brother of Father Lattanzio, fought at Lepanto and in the following wars between Tunis and Algiers. It is written in history, says the historian Ulderico Nistico, and it is hoped that sooner or later the work, almost certainly unpublished, will be found in some archive. Quote, the Battle of Lepanto, the fourth in chronological order and the largest, ended with a crushing victory of the Allied forces, led by Don Giovanni of Austria, over the Ottoman forces of Muezzinzad Ali Pasha, who died in the clash. It was the first great victory of a Western Christian army against the Ottoman Empire. Its importance was mostly psychological, given that the Turks had been in full territorial expansion for decades and until then had won all the major battles against the Eastern Christians. The victory of the Christian alliance did not, however, mark a real turning point in the containment of Turkish expansionism after Lepanto. In fact, the looting by the Turks continued along the Calabrian coasts. Cropani had been burned and looted on August 12, 1562 and again on July 13, 1586. In 1594, Scipione Sicala, born in Italy, was captured at sea by Turkish pirates. Raised in Constantinople in the Islamic faith, denying his Christian origins, devastated the Ionian coast, looting Reggio, then Bottolato and Sabarato. The cannons of Roxella continually repelled Turkish assaults, and the entire Gulf of Squillace became bristling with cavalry towers and fortresses. The Battle of Lepanto was a great battle that saw protagonists from Calabria and Cropani in particular. The battle lasted 7 hours, involved 400 galleys and 150,000 men. As in all wars, many human lives were sacrificed. In fact, at Lepanto, it is thought that at least 30,000 men died.